Hey everyone, how's it going? Thanks so much for tuning in. Today we're going to be taking an in-depth look at the 2025 Mini Cooper Hardtop. As with all of my reviews, I'm going to cover all of the ins and outs and take this thing on a thorough drive. Before I get started, I'd like to extend a huge thanks and shout out to Flow Mini of Winston, Salem, North Carolina for allowing me to borrow this example and bring this video to you guys. For more information about the dealership and their current inventory, check out their contact info in the description box below. Of course, there's a whole lot of stuff to cover, so without further ado, let's go ahead and start her up and let her run. The new Mini family for 2025 is said to be the most significant product investment in the brand's history since the first Mini rolled off the line in 1959. Over the last year and some change, Mini has introduced a full range of new models that, when complete by the end of 2025, will represent a total of 11 new models available in the US market, including several EVs for those interested. The Cooper and Cooper S 3-door hardtop in particular is a great example. To the casual observer, the car might not appear all that different from its predecessor, when in fact it's actually so different that no exterior parts are shared between the two generations. Mini has, for the most part, very successfully gave the new generation of their most iconic car a thorough refresh and modern look without negating the design that makes it so instantly recognizable. It also benefits from better performance across the board and giant leaps in tech and safety. This new generation is a slightly bigger car in height and width while being shorter overall. From the outside, you won't likely notice a difference, but inside, the changes allow for a small increase in cargo space and slightly more interior room for front and rear passengers. The new model is also a bit heavier. For the Cooper S in particular, base weight increases by 172 pounds for a base weight of 3,014 pounds, making it the heaviest generation to date. This increase has a lot to do with all of the new tech and safety features. There's a lot to unpack with the interior, so I'll save that for later in the video. Even with the increase in weight, I really don't notice any difference in how it handles or behaves on the road. It's still an absolute blast. All of the exterior lighting is LED, but there's a trick. A fun new feature that allows you to alter the appearance of the daytime running lights and the matrix taillights. 3 selectable light signatures are available, referred to as Classic, Favored, or JCW. All 3 selectable light signatures begin and end with a specially orchestrated welcome or goodbye animation. To change the settings, you simply go to the car's light settings in the central screen. There you can switch between the modes and view the differences at different angles. The adjustments have to be done while the car isn't running. Honestly, the only thing I'm not a fan of exterior-wise is the lack of visible exhaust pipes, which seems strange especially for a Cooper S, which would have had twin tips in the middle of the rear bumper. The only way to get a visible exhaust tip now is to spring for a JCW. For 2025, the gas-powered Cooper 3-door hardtop is available in 3 models. The entry model as shown here starts at $28,950. The more powerful Cooper S starts at $32,200, and the performance-focused John Cooper Works starts at $38,200. Staying true to Mini fashion, the Cooper hardtop is highly customizable. The entry model in particular can be had in either Signature, Signature Plus, or Iconic trims. The Signature Plus, as shown here, is an additional $2,400 over the standard trim. It offers additional paint options, the option of a contrasting roof with matching mirrors, a choice of 17 or 18-inch wheels, and a standard comfort package, which includes a Comfort Access keyless entry, an auto-dimming rearview mirror, and wireless device charging. You also get an active driving assistance system and the ability to choose between classic or favored styles. The classic style, as shown here, offers a choice between two combination cloth and synthetic leather upholsteries and includes piano black exterior accents, a dashboard topper in black with blue undertone, a steering wheel with vibrant silver stitching and accents, and a satellite gray headliner. The favored style offers a choice between two full synthetic leather upholsteries and includes vibrant silver exterior accents, a dashboard topper in two-tone gray and beige with a herringbone pattern, a closable box in the center console, and an anthracite black headliner. The Iconic trim, which is an additional $4,100 over the standard Signature trim, offers everything in the Signature Plus trim with the addition of an augmented reality feature for the navigation system, Parking Assistant Plus, interior camera, and Harman Kardon premium audio. The Cooper 3-door hardtop is offered with up to 6 exterior colors. This example is finished in Chili Red 2, which is one of the no-cost options. If you opt for the contrasting roof and mirror caps, you can choose between white, as shown here, or black. The total MSRP for this example, including destination, first aid kit, and mini branded valve stem caps, is $32,420. Non-JCW Cooper hardtops are offered with 5 different wheel options. There are 3 17-inch wheels, including the ones you see here, which have a unique parallel spoke design and a two-tone theme with machined lips and spokes and gray painted inner pockets. The 17-inch wheels are 7 inches wide and fitted with 215/45 all-season tires. Run-flat tires are available at no extra cost. The 18-inch wheel options are an additional $600, and they come standard with summer performance tires. The Cooper hardtop is fitted with 4-wheel disc brakes as standard. The front discs are internally ventilated, span 12 inches in diameter, and are clamped down by single-piston calipers. The rear discs are solid, span 11 inches in diameter, and are also clamped down by single-piston calipers. An electronic parking brake is standard, along with 4-wheel, 4-channel, 4-sensor ABS, electronic brake force distribution, and brake assist. There's also a whole host of adaptive braking technology built into some of the driver assistance features. Another feature of the brake system is auto hold, which allows you to rest at a complete stop without having to hold the brake pedal the entire time. Overall braking performance is excellent, especially for it not being a JCW. Hit the brakes and they immediately bite, offering superb linearity as you come to a complete stop, even under harder stops at higher speeds. The car is very stable. Having driven many Minis over the years, I wouldn't expect anything less. With this setup, the car stops from 60 miles an hour in about 115 feet. The revised suspension for 2025 offers both a more compliant ride and slightly more neutral handling characteristics. The basic suspension design consists of a McPherson strut setup in front and a multi-link setup in the rear. All Cooper hardtops are front-wheel drive. Mini performed a number of subtle chassis tweaks to improve the way this new generation hits the road, such as different wheel and tire sizing, a modestly quicker steering ratio, wider track width, and modified suspension tuning. The car certainly feels more grown up, if you will, but it still has that classic go-kart feeling. It's incredibly fun through the corners and is surprisingly well behaved as a daily driver with firm suspension tuning that's not overly stiff. The steering is quick to respond and nicely weighted with no unpleasant vibrations or jitters even on rougher roads. It's a very refined feeling car. The steering is a rack and pinion unit with speed-sensitive electric power assistance that offers a 14:1 ratio, about 2.4 turns to go from lock to lock and a tight 36.4-foot turning circle. The new steering wheel has a super high-quality feel and features massive grip bolsters at 10 and 2, accent cross-stitching and matte gold trim. I like to think of it as a two-spoke wheel. It has this neat pseudo-spoke at the bottom that in reality is just an intricately woven cloth band. The steering wheel feels nice and meaty in your hands and the upholstery is top-notch. Easy to understand steering wheel controls operate various vehicle systems from cruise control and hands-free telephone to voice commands and audio settings. The right stalk on the steering column operates the windshield wipers, which also include an automatic rain sensing feature, plus the rear wiper. The left stalk is your turn signals, lighting controls, and some other stuff. Press the button at the end of the stalk to bring up the customizable exterior lighting that I mentioned a moment ago. The head-up display is honestly a little old-fashioned looking for a 2025 model, as it pops up out of the dash like the prior generation did rather than being beamed onto the windshield. In my opinion, the previous pop-up design was a little better executed. With the large center display, I just assumed to get rid of the head-up display altogether. It's a little redundant in this case, and in my opinion, it makes the dash cluttered looking without adding a significant functional benefit. The new Cooper and Cooper S hardtop for the US market are now powered by a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. Previously, the 2-liter engine was reserved for the Cooper S, but now for 2025, the 2-liter is standard in the base Cooper. The only real difference is software tuning so that it produces less horsepower than the S. It is, however, a substantial improvement over the previous 1.5-liter turbocharged 3-cylinder engine, which produced 134 horsepower and 162 pound-feet of torque. The Cooper's new entry setup develops 161 horsepower between 5,000 and 6,500 RPM and 184 pound-feet of torque between 1,450 and 4,500 RPM. This alone makes the base Cooper an even more enticing option in my opinion and will likely be a popular option for those looking to mod and tune in the future. Accelerating from 60 miles an hour takes about 7.4 seconds, with the entry setup and the top speed is electronically limited to 130 miles per hour. When it comes to fuel economy, EPA estimates for the Cooper is an impressive 28 miles per gallon in the city and 39 miles per gallon on the highway. During my time with this car, I averaged around 32 miles per gallon. Premium gas is required and the total tank capacity is 11.6 gallons. A fuel-saving auto start-stop system is standard. Unlike before, you can't just toggle it off. You have to go through the center screen to the drivetrain and chassis menu to disable it if you want, so it's a little extra work than before. As far as the Cooper S, it too develops more power for 2025. 204 horsepower between 5,750 and 6,500 RPM, and 222 pound-feet of torque between 1,450 and 4,500 RPM. That's good for a 0 to 60 time of around 6.3 seconds. Top speed in the Cooper S is limited to 150 miles per hour. Fuel economy is currently rated identical as the base Cooper, interestingly enough. The single twin-scroll turbocharger allows for pretty quick response in the base Cooper, especially when switched to the go-kart experience mode. All of Mini's engines are constructed using aluminum for the block and head, the latter of which integrates the exhaust manifold for more efficient cooling of the exhaust gases and the turbocharging system. The valve train consists of double overhead camshafts with 4 valves per cylinder and double Vanos variable valve timing. One unique feature is the crankcase cooling system, which can be reduced when demand is low under partial load by means of a split cooling system for the block. Fuel is delivered via high-pressure direct injection. The compression ratio for the Cooper and Cooper S is 10.2 to 1. One gripe with me is the transmission. Now, both the Cooper and Cooper S receive a revised 7-speed dual-clutch transmission, which I'll admit performs great. It's responsive, quick-shifting, and felt sporty when pushed hard through corners, as it has an algorithm that can adapt to your driving style. The transmission is operated by a small toggle lever in the car's simplified center stack. The toggle goes up and down so you can select between reverse, neutral, drive, and low mode. In the latter, the shifting experience is reminiscent to the old S mode that you engaged by moving the automatic shift lever to the left. The new version feels both faster and smarter, which is a nice plus. Park is engaged by the button to the left of the shift toggle. Previously, the automatic had an electronic shift controller in the center console that gave somewhat of an analog feel to an obvious bit of digital tech. This has been completely removed in the new generation. Personally, I'm just not a fan of the toggle switch. In my opinion, it takes away from the driving experience. Even more so is the fact that Mini has dropped the option of a manual transmission for all 2025 models. As a die-hard manual fan, it's hard for me to wrap my head around this, especially with Mini increasing production of manual transmission cars in the last couple of years of the previous generation. To add insult to injury, paddle shifters are not currently available on any Cooper hardtops unless you go for the John Cooper Works. Apparently that's supposed to change in the coming future. I hope so. Therefore, at least at this time, there's no way to currently shift the transmission manually in the new Cooper hardtops, which, in my opinion, is a major connectivity loss for enthusiasts. Giving credit where it's due, Mini has developed an entire suite of what they call experiences. It's a pretty sleek setup. They're a lot more in-depth than your typical drive modes. The modes include Go-Kart, Core, Green, Personal, Vivid, Timeless, and Balance. Some of the modes like Go-Kart and Green, I noticed a definitive difference in how the car drove. Green was more restrained as it prioritizes maximizing fuel economy. Go-Kart takes things up a notch by making the throttle more sensitive, the transmission more responsive, and it felt like the steering firmed up a tad. It also boosted engine sound a bit. What's also fun is that each experience is accompanied by a quote-unquote announcement sound. Go-Kart, for example, announces with an enthusiastic woo-hoo! Not all experiences affect the way the car drives. Some of them are simply for promoting a relaxing interior environment. Balanced is a good example. Timeless gives you a retro-like instrument setup. Personal allows you to change the image on the display, amongst other things, and Vivid automatically defaults to your current music selection. Of course, I'm just scratching the surface here. There's so much more to this system. Each experience has unique ambient interior lighting as well that displays throughout transparent sections on either side of the dashboard at night. Depending on the experience, additional ambient lighting will dress up other areas of the interior too. The interior of the new Cooper Hardtop is a dramatic departure from the previous generation, being a combination of retro-inspired details and more tech than ever before. At the same time, it's a very modern interior with sparse controls and simple designs that offer a unique combination of form and function. That being said, some things are a bit too modern for my taste, but full disclosure, I'm an old school guy at heart. I've always been fond of Mini's inherent cuteness, if you will, the retro-inspired looks and attention to detail. I feel the interior has been taken back a step for the sake of placing more emphasis on new tech and creating a more simplified user experience. The industry as a whole is becoming more digital by the day, so this isn't a surprise. Giving credit where it's due, I think Mini is off to a fantastic start in giving their lineup a fresh lease on life, and I think Mini folks will appreciate all of what the new Minis offer. Personally, I'd like to see more color and finisher options, and I'd like to see a greater use of soft touch materials. The fabric material in the upper doors and dashboard have an interesting texture that isn't necessarily pleasant to the touch, and kind of reminds me of a burlap sack. The overall build quality is top-notch, as I personally have come to expect from Mini, but I do think, at least in this example, the fit and finish has taken a step back. There's significantly less soft-touch materials used, especially in key touch points like the door panels and center armrest. The forward portion of the dash is another example, as it's now a sheet of plastic with an interesting textured pattern versus the sculpted padded dash of the previous generation. It looks a little out of place, as does the head-up display, which I never could really get dialed into my line of sight, so I ended up just turning it off, and when you do, it retracts back in the dash. As I highlighted earlier, the upholstery options in the new Cooper Hardtop is available in either a combination of cloth and synthetic leather or full synthetic leather, depending on whether you opt for the classic style or favored style. Genuine leather is no longer offered. The combination of cloth and synthetic leather can be had in either gray and blue or black and blue two-tone themes, both of which are paired with a dashboard topper in black with blue undertone, a steering wheel with vibrant silver stitching and accents, and a satellite gray headliner. With the full synthetic leather, you automatically get John Cooper Works sports seats featuring fixed headrests and more pronounced lateral bolstering. They can be had in either nightshade blue or beige, both of which are paired with a dashboard topper in two-tone gray and beige with a herringbone pattern and an anthracite black headliner. The upper door panel inserts and, if equipped, the center console closable box complement the color of the dashboard topper. The synthetic leather, which is called Winston, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, offers a high-quality leather-like feel, but is said to offer superior durability and have less of an environmental impact compared to conventional leather production. The style of the intricate perforations across the middle of the seats are unique to the two upholstery styles. Regardless of the upholstery, there's stitched Mini logos in the middle of the backrests. The Signature and Signature Plus trims come standard with manually adjustable front seats, both of which offer sliding, reclining, and height adjustment plus adjustable headrests. Power front seats are now offered as an option, but they require you to get the JCW Sport seats, which are standard on the iconic trim. Along with the same adjustments as you'd get with the manual seats, the powered seats have 4-way power lumbar and 2 memory presets for the driver. Heated front seats and a heated steering wheel are standard on all models. The seats are honestly very comfortable and offer great lateral support. It didn't take me long to find a good position. There's a lot of adjustment, and taller people will likely be surprised how accommodating the front seats actually are. The headrests are adjustable and the steering wheel is adjustable for tilt and reach. The panoramic sunroof is a wonderful feature as it adds so much natural light and makes the interior feel much more open. Another gripe of mine is the center console, which is Spartan to say the least. Yes, the 3-door hardtop offers good storage space. You have a broad tray across the center console with an available console-mounted storage container, plus 2 cup holders, a wireless phone charging tray, a good glove box, and large door pockets. The center console armrest is fixed, meaning it's not adjustable whatsoever and does not have a storage compartment within. It's also on the hard side, same with the door armrests, which again need more padded materials. At the rear of the center console, there's a 12-volt power outlet and 2 USB-C outlets. Overhead, there's LED lighting, microphones for the hands-free phone system, an auto-dimming rearview mirror, and visors with illuminated vanity mirrors. The standard audio system is a 100-watt 6-speaker setup, but if you opt for the Harman Kardon Premium Audio System, you get a big bump to 12 high-quality speakers and 320 watts. The easiest way to tell if one of these has the Harman Kardon system would be the signature tweeters at the base of the A-pillars. Without a doubt, the most significant change to the new Minis is the 9.4-inch circular OLED display in the middle of the dash, which utilizes Mini's all-new OS 9 operating system. This is a nod to classic Minis, but also a bold leap into the future, as the entire car for the most part is controlled through this screen. First off, the OLED display's design, graphics, and various animations is very impressive. The standard dual-zone climate control system is now controlled from the screen versus the physical controls used in the previous generation. It's a cool detail, but it takes some time to get used to. The basic controls are always visible, including temperature adjustments as well as front seat and steering wheel heating. For more in-depth controls, there's a dedicated climate menu. That's where you can change fan speed, zones, activate automatic climate control, and recirculation. Going a few steps further, you can dial in the level of heating for the front seats and steering wheel to get things just right, including the adjustments for the passenger seat. With cabin preconditioning, you can set schedules so your Mini is always at the right temperature when you want it. A remote start system is standard. It definitely took me some time to get used to all of this new tech, but everything is logically organized. Relevant vehicle information such as speed and fuel consumption is displayed at the top of the screen. In the main menu, the functions are arranged horizontally as widgets and can be selected by swipe and touch. In the lower area of the OLED display, the menu items, navigation, media, telephone, and climate can be selected directly at any time. The system also incorporates a massive app suite, which includes everything from games and vehicle settings to entertainment features and many connected services. You can customize shortcuts for frequently used features and create multiple user profiles to store data accordingly. The operating system emphasizes real-time connectivity and enhanced navigation. With cloud-based routing that leverages 5G for rapid data transfer, Mini's navigation system delivers traffic and route updates as quickly as popular apps like Google Maps. Additionally, the platform supports augmented reality, overlaying directional arrows and other guides on a live video feed, helping drivers navigate complex intersections with precision. As I mentioned before, the display's theme changes drastically between the different experience modes. It's a lot of fun to switch between and try out the different modes. Spike, the canine friend of the Mini brand, has been reimagined and brought to life in the digital world. Inspired by the look of an English bulldog, he guides you through the operating concept of the future Mini model family. In his role as Mini Intelligent Personal Assistant, he provides various forms of support. Just say, "Hey Mini," to activate the Mini Intelligent Personal Assistant on the display. A 3D visualization then appears in the form of a car avatar or Spike. Interacting with the Mini IPA, you can use your natural voice to control a wide range of options such as navigation, telephone, entertainment, and other vehicle functions. Like I said, pretty much the entire vehicle can be controlled through this screen. As an example, you have all of the interior lighting. Not only can you toggle the reading lamps from the display, you also have access to the car's ambient lighting system. The colors and expanse of the lighting depends on the experience you select, but you can change certain settings and effects. A Wi-Fi hotspot is included so you and your passengers can stay connected no matter what. Every media option you can imagine is included in one way or another, whether it be traditional media features or streaming services. In addition to AM, FM, HD, and Sirius XM satellite radio, you have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Obviously, with the latter two, you can use many of your phone's apps, whether it be Pandora, Google Maps, calling, messaging, or whatever else. Let me be the first to tell you this system is in-depth if you haven't noticed already, and it's one of the most in-depth I've used in quite a while. My goal with all of this was to give you a snapshot of its capabilities. You're definitely going to want to visit a Mini retailer and play with it in person. Mini has introduced a significant amount of new safety tech on the Cooper Hardtops. In addition to the standard driver assistance systems, the 2025 model includes an upgraded rearview camera with parking guidance lines and obstacle marking, parking sensors, and a new available surround view system that provides a comprehensive view of the vehicle's surroundings. The new Mini also benefits from improved structural integrity thanks to the inclusion of more high-strength materials into the vehicle's construction. The improvements enhance overall crash protection and should contribute to even better safety ratings. An upgraded airbag system features additional sensors and expanded coverage. There's 8 airbags in total, including side and head airbags for the first and second row outer seats and knee airbags. Additional safety features equipped on this example include the standard LED exterior lighting, automatic high beam assist, driver attention assist, a tire pressure monitoring system, crash sensors and post-collision eye brake, teleservices, emergency call, a parking assist system with front and rear parking sensors, as well as heated exterior mirrors, rear window, and washer jets. Available advanced driver assist systems for the Cooper Hardtop include active blind spot detection, lane departure warning, speed limit assist, steering wheel feedback, front collision warning with brake intervention, available rear cross traffic warning and rear collision prevention, exit warning, and active cruise control with stop and go function. The driver assistance and drivetrain and chassis menus in the central screen are your go-to sources for all of the car's safety tech. The innovative Mini Digital Key Plus function turns your smartphone into the key via the Mini app. The welcome animation of the front and rear lights begins as soon as you're less than 10 feet away. The doors are unlocked when you're at the distance of less than 5 feet. This convenient vehicle experience can be digitally transferred to different users, including their personal vehicle settings. Gaining access to the rear seat is as simple as pulling a lever on the outer front seat backrest. The lever releases the backrest so you can tip it forward. When you do that, the latch holding the bottom of the seat will also release so you can unlatch and push the seat forward in one easy motion without needing to mess with the bottom seat slider. This goes the same for the driver and front passenger seat. The 3-door hardtop does not have a large back seat, but it is surprisingly usable considering the car's size. I would consider it a true 4-seater rather than a 2+2 configuration for the simple fact that I am able to climb into the back and fit pretty well with some headroom to spare. For context, I'm 5'10". The biggest limiting factor I noticed was leg space, but depending on who's sitting in the front, you can certainly make some additional room by sliding the front seats forward a bit. The dished out bottom cushions helps hold you in place. Hooks on the upper parts of the side panels can be used to help hold the seatbelt in place. Child seat anchors are located in both seating positions. On the side panels, there's molded-in armrests. The headrests are full-size and can be adjusted some. They can also be tilted down when not in use for better rearward visibility. Garment hooks can be found on either side of the headliner. A single cup holder can be found in the rear of the center console. Overall, the 3-door hardtop offers good space for what it is. Leg, shoulder, and headroom in the rear measure 30.8, 49.1, and 36.9 inches respectively. If you're still needing more room, mainly legroom, I would consider looking at the 5-door version, which is more or less a stretched and wider version of the car you're looking at here. The interior of the 5 doors is noticeably wider in the rear and can accommodate up to 3 people instead of 2. The new Cooper 3-door hardtop is very similar to its predecessor when it comes to utility out back. The hatch is lightweight and easy to open and close. While it may not look like much space, you have 8.7 cubic feet to work with in its standard configuration. A removable privacy cover is standard. LED lighting on the right side panel helps illuminate the cargo area at night. One pretty cool feature back here is the cargo floor. If you raise it up, you have a substantial compartment underneath that can be used as additional storage for smaller items and a tire repair kit. The cargo floor can also be repositioned. If you pull it out slightly and slide it into the lower channels, you effectively give yourself an additional 3 inches of height. In other words, you can squeeze out some more space if you need to carry something taller. Even better, you can do so without completely compromising the usability of the cubby beneath. The rear seat backrest is split 60-40 and each section is able to lower from the cargo area by simple pull levers. With the backrest completely folded and the cargo floor in its standard position, you have a flat load floor up to the front seats and a generous 34.4 cubic feet of total cargo space. Well everyone, that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please don't forget to leave a like down below because it really helps the videos a lot. And if you haven't subscribed already, consider doing that too and make sure those notifications are turned on. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.